What's going on, gamers? Chongo here, and today I've got a gameplay commentary for you guys. The gameplay is of Battlefield 4 on the PC, and today's commentary topic is about paying for beta or alpha access, so let's get into it. So if you haven't heard about this, it seems like this recent trend that before a game comes out or before you've seen very much about the game, you can pay a certain amount for a package that'll make sure you get into the alpha or beta. Even though you can still sign up and get a chance to get in just by signing up and without paying, if you pay, you're 100% certain you're going to get in. Now, this kind of thing is starting to get a little bit annoying, and most people that I've talked about seem to think it's a little bit unfair that, you know, if you sign up first or you've been waiting for this game, you still need to pay money, even though, you know, you want to test out this beta first. You don't really want to drop $100 on a game or however much yet, because number one, you haven't seen very much gameplay and you haven't actually played it yourself and you haven't heard others' opinions on the game or anything like that, so you're not really sure if this is going to be something that you like, but you can already pay $100 to be sure that you get it. So this video was basically triggered by me receiving an email yesterday from Sony Online Entertainment, basically saying I could pay a certain amount of money and get EverQuest Next Landmark. Now, if you haven't heard of EverQuest Next, it's this new MMO that's coming out next year that seems really interesting, and one of the things they're doing is they're allowing players to use this landmark system to go in and build certain places on the map, and they can be put into the final version of the MMO. So they've actually released it that you can pay $20, $60, or $100, and you can get certain in-game items for EverQuest Next Landmark. Now, this is, like I said before, a tool that, you know, you can go around and create all these things in-game that could possibly end up in the real game, as well as, you know, just spend time, you know, getting to know this world, because this isn't the full MMO, this is just the creation tool for the MMO. So you can pay $100, and as far as I'm concerned, and reading through this, I can't tell whether this includes EverQuest Next, but the wording of it doesn't say anything about EverQuest Next. It only says about EverQuest Next Landmark, so I'm pretty sure this doesn't include the MMO. I think this is just for, you know, the ability to go in and create whatever you want in this world, which, I mean, if you're really into that, you may want to pay $100 for it, but it just seems a little bit odd to me that you can pay $100 just for creating stuff in a world. It doesn't even include the final game to go and play this MMO. So I really like the concept of this game. I'm not sure if I'm going to get EverQuest Next. It's just the whole idea of it having a destructible MMO and having players actually create content for it sounds really interesting to me, so even if I don't get it, I think I will still appreciate it as a game and what it's trying to achieve, but it just seems a little bit odd that you can pay this amount of money. I'd prefer more companies to decide to wait a while, release the beta, and then if people like it, like, give them maybe a week or two, and then people have the option to pre-purchase the game, and then that gives them access to the beta for however long before the game launches. So say it's a couple months before launch, you can then pay if you want to have early access right now, but everyone still gets that, you know, 1 week window of, you know, they can see if they like it or not, because I can see there's going to be a lot of people who buy this because they're just interested in it, and then when it comes out, they may not really like what they can do with Landmark, and it's kind of sad that you can waste that much money. I'm not sure how they'll handle refunds or anything like that, but as I've said, the whole concept of it is interesting, but it just seems like a lot of money to drop on something that, I mean, there hasn't even been that many videos about EverQuest Next. You can go look them up yourself, but they do look interesting, but it just seems like a little bit too much to spend on something that you don't really know about. I guess people could argue it is the same as pre-ordering, which it sort of is, but I just sort of feel that, at least with pre-ordering, by the time it gets to pre-ordering a game, especially if it's like a sequel or something like that, you definitely know that you will kind of like the game. For example, Battlefield 4, the gameplay you're seeing behind you, even though it's got bugs and that kind of stuff, I pre-ordered this game back in June because I played Battlefield 3 and I've seen footage and I liked what they were trying to do with Battlefield 4, so it seems a little bit different with the sequel, but I never played the original EverQuest, so I'm not sure how much I'd like this game or whatnot, so I just don't think I'm going to pre-order anything like this until I see, you know, reviews or what other people's impressions are of this game. And I think with more games coming out now and more, you know, bad games coming out, I mean, everyone remembers War Z, which is now Infestation Survivor Stories, and all these games that launch and people pay and they're just not that good. I think we're going to see a lot more people choose not to pre-order games or not to opt into systems like this, mainly because they don't know how good the game's going to be and they don't want to waste their money on something they're going to play once and say, well, that game's crap. So I think more people are probably going to look for reviews in the future, and honestly, we're going to get to a point where people, even if you get some special digital thing, people are going to avoid pre-ordering just because of that. So I'd really like to know what you guys think of this, whether you like systems that give you guaranteed alpha and beta access if you pay a certain amount, whether you still like to pre-order games or you wait until you see reviews and see what other people think about it. Just leave that down in the comments. Anyway, this brings me to my video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a like, and if you want to join the Gamerhood, just subscribe. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time.